In the open shop, paperweights on picture books, young springtime breeze, keto. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Thought Process. Today, I'm joined by my two good friends, Gilbert Santos and Robert Nunez. What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining me.
What's up, Marco?
Hey man, it's going.
It's going.
We're going.
How's 2020 so far for you, man?
For me?
The last time we talked, you had a lot of stuff going on with your business. Yeah, where are you at nowadays?
Shit, man. I mean, we're like I said, we're moving. We're going. We just recently got an office / studio. Just saving some more money. Looking towards the future. Just moving forward with the goals that we have in mind, and just adapting through what's happening and just making moves accordingly.
Man,
We're just living.
Like,
we're just living.
It sounds like you're living the dream.
I mean,
it's good, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm living my dream. I'm living what I'm just living what needs to be done in my life, and then we're just moving. So that's the direction we're taking.
That's a really good direction.
Yeah, we're just moving.
What else are you working on?
Other than the business?
I mean, it could be anything.
I mean, that's pretty much what I'm doing, and that's my life is the business. Everything revolves around the business. I have my daughter, who I hang out with all the time, and we talk and hang out with you guys and stuff like that. But every time I see one of you guys, it's.
By the way, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cut Gil off.
I know.
Just kidding.
So I was checking. It sounds good.
I mean,
it's a little. You're a little low. I think I was too.
You just have to get closer to the microphone.
Is that right?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. So like this close.
Oh,
how's that? Oh, it does sound better. Yeah, that's good.
So you're just moving forward.
We're just moving.
Life revolves around the business, but so what are you doing right now to keep balance?
Man, that's a good question.
So I recently lost balance. I don't know if you guys. I don't know. Were you guys in a lull also? I kind of lost.
What do you mean balance? Balance in
life work, or balance like sanity and insanity.
Well, I think that's both. So life work, and then so for me, I'll give you guys an example. For me, man, well, since the last time that we were doing this whole mastermind thing, like we were meeting every other Wednesday, or at that point in time was every week. We were reading, we were doing all this. I was doing the handyman stuff. And I just realized recently that the whole process, the peak and the valley of that business, I hit this wall of like where I'm actually just recovering right now. Like the wall, I hit the wall so hard, and I dropped so hard that I'm just picking up the pieces right now.
Wow. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Like I'm right there. I'm exactly it. You just described it perfectly for me too. There was a slump, and then I hit a little bit of a rock bottom, and it's a little one, not a major one. There's been worse rock bottoms,
right?
But I just hit a little one, and it kind of woke me up again. Hit that wall, and now I'm climbing over that wall. I'm just getting through. So you asked the question, what helps or what have you been doing to keep the balance? I had a conversation with my dad, and one of the things he was suggesting, he's like, don't you feel good when you work out? And I was like, I feel amazing when I work out. I feel one of the best feelings in the world when I work out. One of the best feelings, because there's other feelings. But so I told him, you know what? You're right. I was in the off balance. I was off balance. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I was off balance.
Right.
And Gilbert even mentioned it when he was like, I just went on this was like 2 weeks ago. You were like,
Yeah.
I just went on an 8-mile run.
Yeah.
And then you were talking about how you went in and you distracted yourself from like other things. And when you go on a run, you just really go in. You stop to think about negative. It's just about moving your feet and
it's
going.
about the action, but more importantly, the present.
The present, being in the present moment.
You're in the present.
And then, so when he was saying that, it was already like 10 p.m. We were having some drinks. We were at his house. And there was no way I was going to run that night. And I'm thinking about the next morning, and I'm already beating myself. And I didn't say anything to you at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You were just talking about your run.
Yeah.
But I was in my mind as you were talking, I was thinking about my own shit. And I'm like, that's what I need. I need to work out. Did I work out? No. So I didn't work out that week.
Mm.
And it kept being brought up again and again, like, in little pieces. And then I go to my dad's shop, and we get into the conversation about working out. And he tells me, and I've been telling him, because a week prior, I was starting to balance my life out by eating better. So I started with that. But I got to tell you guys this one, because this is actually just this quick thing that I learned about myself. So I started, what I thought that would help me balance out was food. But the problem was that I ate like shit. I drank like shit. I've been eating like shit and drinking like shit. And then I used food to balance me out. I said, you know what? I'm off my vitamins.
Yeah.
I haven't been drinking enough water, drinking alcohol, eating processed foods. I was going out to fast food. I could see it on the bank statements. So that was keeping me off balance. So what I did was I was like, okay, let's go with food. We'll start with food. And the food was, I guess I realized, was taking too long. And when I was talking to my dad a week later, he goes, but don't you like working out? Isn't that such a great feeling? And I realized right when he said it, that that's the fastest thing I can think of to balance your life out, is to go for a workout. It's instant. The food that I was eating better was taking me 3 days. The nutritious food was taking me a while to expel
the food.
To expel the toxic food was taking me a couple days. And then to take in the good food was also not instant. Like at 30 minutes, you can go for a run and get an instant fucking high, an instant balance, and being like, damn, okay, that was really bad.
Right.
Just to balance me out again. And I realized that working out, when I'm in that wall, when I hit that wall, or when I'm in this like slump, it's just fucking go run, go work out, go do some push-ups, go do something, because it's the most instant thing I can think of now. It's better than picking up a book, or faster than probably picking up a book and sitting down to read, faster than eating, faster than anything I can think of to balance me out. That was my thing, and it worked out. So, I mean,
the interesting thing about that is that 2 years ago, when this happened to me with this handyman business, the first thing I stopped doing was working out. And at that point in time, I was on another level. Like I was dialed in with my nutrition. I went to parties and people like looked at me weird because I was just I had my own food. And people would ask me like, well, don't you want to try? I'm like, well, I can't. And then sometimes people would try to pick out my food, like family.
How long ago?
Like 2 years.
Oh.
2 years ago. Maybe now I think it's been 3 years, actually. I think at the end of this year will be 3 years. But
I can't remember the last time you were dialed in like that. That's why. And you get really dialed in.
Yeah.
You go really.
Yeah. I got like obsessed with it.
You do. When you go in, you go in. But I haven't heard it in a while. That's why.
And well, that's the thing is that, from there it was just work, and then just big milestones in my life, like being married and finally moving out and having our own place and enjoying our space and like getting a dog and stuff like that. Like, I just filled my life with these other bigger things that the priority just became lesser and lesser and lesser. But now I'm telling you, you make an interesting point about working out, because back then I used to feel great. I woke up sore, but it was a good feeling.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I wake up and like my knees tight, and I'm like, man, that sucks. Or you know, I go sit down at the computer, or I'm driving, or whatever I'm doing. And I get out, I'm like, damn, like I can't move like I used to move.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is the one thing I have to do, is I have to get back and work out
Yeah.
and get back on that grind, you know,
Yeah.
because otherwise, dude, I think that I'm literally falling apart.
Yeah, no, it definitely does it gives you a balance, you know, like today, this morning. So I'm also having a mastermind with my daughter. We just started 2 weeks ago. We started our mastermind meetings and just going over the week, her school work
Mm-hmm.
and my work, and just, you know, understanding the schedules and stuff like that, and the goals, what we need to do. And one of my goals is to work out, to work out daily for 5 days a week, you know. And today I struggled, you know, and that's the balance. I was off balance. I woke up and I was already off balance because I was like what do I need to do today? Like what is it? What's the purpose? What, you know, we got to make this day count, and I already have my schedule and what we need to do and stuff like that, but still I struggle.
Tell him the full story, the one you told me on the ride here.
Oh yeah, no, and
The
then that's where I'm
morning,
getting.
the
That's where I'm
morning.
getting to. It's like I woke up. You know, the goal is to wake up every day at 6 a.m. and get the day started. You know, and the only reason why that works for me is because I need to get my reading. I need to get my emails, everything before I go to work. Because after that, those days can become 10, 12 hour days. And then by the time I get home, all I want to do is rest. And that's reality. Is like I get tired and I don't want to do the reading. I don't want to do anything else. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's more effective for me to get up at 6 in the morning, get everything done, and come home and relax. So I've been doing that Monday, Tuesday, but today I woke up and you know I woke up at 6:30 and I was like I went to the restroom, I did my thing, and I came back and I saw my bed and I'm like, you know what, another 10 minutes won't hurt. I'm a little tired. I've been working out,
Ooh,
you know, and that was the mistake
That
of
was
just
it.
that was it right
my
there.
mistake was looking at my bed and was like, damn.
That's when you
That
tip the domino.
is that when you think your mistake was? Okay, so I don't want to
Hmm.
cut you off. We could continue that because we want to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
new mastermind that he started. So 2 days ago, or Friday, I don't know what day it was. Whatever, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter. It was within the last week. I had a very similar experience. Got up at 6:30, got the shake ready. Boom, boom, boom. I have my workout clothes on. Everything's good. Um, I took a look at the bed. I looked
Yeah.
over at the
Oh
bed.
yeah.
But I learned something later on that day when I beat myself up for the rest of the day. And then I ended up turning it around like you did, which we'll discuss. I ended up turning it around, but I try to think about, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Like, why did I fuck up? Was it looking at the bed? Because you just said that your mistake was looking at the bed. My mistake was not doing the bed.
Yeah.
And it brought me back to Jordan Peterson. One of his major
Clean your
rules:
room.
Yeah, for
just
sure.
clean your room,
Yeah,
do your bed. And I thought
definitely.
about that and I said to myself, had I done my bed, had I put it like, but you know where I left the bed that morning? God, it was so sweet. It was like just my side overlapped, and the pillow was still kind of like flattened.
Yeah.
It looked like it was calling me. It was like the way I described it was like, it was like in an oasis. And it was just so like I couldn't pull away,
Yeah.
and then I just gravitated, and I said the same thing. Let me just lay down real quick. Let me just real quick.
Yeah.
Boom! I turned on my phone. YouTube goes on, and I'm
Yeah.
gone for 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm gone.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. It's a slippery slope. Once you see that, it's like you start compromising, you start making excuses. But before this, today, Wednesday, I had everything planned out. I had an account. I lined up an account. I was ready to go. I was gonna be there at 9 o'clock. She calls me yesterday. She's like, I'm gonna cancel. Didn't say why. She just like, I'm canceling, and I was like, she didn't even let me explain if she wanted to reschedule or anything. Didn't give me a chance. She's like, okay, thank you, bye. And then after that, I get another call from another potential client. That same day, Tuesday afternoon, I go do the bid, and she's like, "Well, we wanted to do tomorrow." She's like, "But we'll let you know." So I was like, "Well, at least I have something going for today." She didn't call, so obviously it didn't happen. And my goal was to wake up at 6 a.m. So I did. I woke up at 6:30, but I didn't have a purpose anymore. And for me, it was like that was my biggest battle. That was my biggest battle. It's like
My
now
gosh, right.
That's
my,
it.
my schedule is out of whack, and it's not. That's not what I planned. So here I am, and then 30 minutes later, I come back and I see the bed, and that was the best option for me at that point. And I knew that wasn't, but at the same time, I was like, that's it. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody can tell me, no, you cannot go into the bed other than myself. And myself was not about to do that. So I go to bed and I'm there and I'm sleeping, but I'm not really resting. I'm not really sleeping because I'm tossing and turning, unknowing that I shouldn't be in bed anymore. It's like people are making moves. We have to make some moves. But no, it was just like, it was a fight. It was constant battle till about 11:30 a.m.
Dude.
Right? And I'm just like, damn,
That's it.
okay. And the whole time I'm like, I need to get up. One of the things that was on my plan was to go for a run. And I usually go for 8 miles. I was like, if I'm going to make this run count, and if it's miles, we're going. So I was dreading the 8 miles. And I'm just like, oh man, I just rather rest. And I was like, nobody can tell me anything. I was like, I'm just here. So, and it's 11:30 and I was like, you know what, I need to move. Like, I know better. Like, I can't let this day go to waste. This is all I have right now. So I get my camel pack, I fill it up with water, and I'm like, you know what? I just need to get outside. And I'm like struggling. I'm struggling, man. And this is like, I'm getting up and I'm like, oh man, like everything is, because I've been working out 2 days before. Everything is tight, but I was like, but I need to go out. I need to turn this day around. I need to balance this day out. Otherwise, everything's gonna go to shit, in my personal opinion in life. And so I go outside and I'm running, and I smoke a little weed, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get in the zone. I'm gonna go. And as I'm running, I start forgetting about everything, about the tightness, and I'm just running in it. In that moment, I'm like, let's fucking quit the excuses and let's go. Let's make this run count. And I ran fucking over 13 miles today.
Damn. You ran 13 miles
and
today?
I fucking
Crazy.
went. Why? Because I had to balance this day out today. And I'm like, I fucked up in the morning. That doesn't mean my day can go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm gonna fucking go.
Damn, dude.
I'm here.
That literally happened to me. I mean, I didn't go for a run, but I started doing chores. You guys saw all the chores that I left.
Dude, it's like we're human. I'm not gonna sit here and portray a perfect businessman. I'm not. I got my flaws, and we talk about our flaws all the time.
Gilbert and I, we are very balanced human beings when it comes to business. We're very balanced. And in one thing I can say that we're not balanced on is that story he just told. Our mornings are our Achilles,
Yeah.
We at Gilbert's story is very similar to my story and your story, because it's a true story that we deal with. If you're the type of person that does not wake up early in the morning, you're not.
Hard.
That's why they're called morning people.
Yeah.
For a reason, because they're morning people. They're not normal people. They're morning people. There's something different about it. And I struggle with it constantly. And so listening to this story, it's like, yeah, I'm going through the same exact story, exact thing.
But during that run is where I'm like meditating, because I'm going for 13 miles. And it doesn't get any easier because I'm hurting, man. I'm up Peters Canyon. I'm going through and I take this loop and it takes me back around to the beginning, and I'm going, and I'm just like, in this whole time I'm thinking about my business, how I can make it better. What are my mistakes? What am I doing wrong? What do we need to do to make this successful? And obviously this is at a very low scale. There's people that are running multi-million-dollar companies, and you can imagine what they're going through. But I'm like, but if I want to get there, I have to go through all this. And that's why my company is my life. Because when I go on these long runs, it's because I want to prove myself. I want to understand what my limits are. And it's like, once you get your mind to it, dude, it's like you're going. I'm going 13. I'm trying to go 100 in a row, and that's
100 miles.
100 miles in a row. But, that's on my personal side. But it's like everything intertwines at the end, because when I'm running, it gives me the opportunity to be by myself and to understand myself and to understand the fact that, look, if I treat this like a marathon or like a long distance run, if I treat my business like that, I'm gonna be successful, because it's like there's no limit. It's like we're just going. And in business, it's like we make a lot of mistakes, because we're human,
Well, let's talk about that. So before I forget, if we take it back to the beginning, the morning, was the mistake looking at the bed? No. Was the mistake not doing the bed? No. What was the mistake? And he said it perfectly. His purpose. There was no purpose for that day. I'll tell you, my mistake was I had nothing written on my calendar. It was all unorganized.
Yes.
So if there's some free time, if you have to get up, you get up. You get up, right? When you have to. I get up when I have to. But when there's that free day where you're supposed to be doing some things, it could be like your side project. It could be working out. It could be reading. It could be the business. Anything. It doesn't matter. There's a reason. I had nothing. I had something scheduled, but it didn't give me the purpose I needed to get up. And I don't know, do I need it? Like, I don't know what it was. I still can't figure it out. But that was one of the things I blamed, that I had a lack of self-discipline when it came to putting my schedule together the night before.
And but that's the thing. I had my schedule ready.
The night before.
The night before, it was already scheduled.
Where?
His day was scheduled, but then they canceled, and then it kind of threw a wrench in the.
But I was trying to fix it, and the other account didn't go through. So I was like, I'm sitting here Wednesday.
But you're sitting there waiting.
No, I wasn't waiting. I knew it wasn't gonna happen. But
you already knew it wasn't gonna happen.
But by that time, it was just like, damn. So, it was for
when did you find out that you were not gonna do that job?
Oh, around 4:00.
The day before.
The day before, yeah.
When do you plan your next day schedule?
That was my mistake.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what part where exactly, I feel like, was it looking at the bed? People don't do their bed all the time.
That's true.
And they don't go back.
Yeah.
Or was it me the previous day not looking at my calendar, not going like, what are we doing tomorrow?
Or
what's
important? What do we need
needs
to do
after
done? That? And that's what I'm talking about. It's like those balance, right? Now he's letting me know, like, this is what your mistake was. And I'm like, okay, shit. Then that was the mistake. And now I'm like learning from it, and I understand.
What else would you have done that day? Like, what do you
think? I don't know. I honestly, it was one of those things where I was like, it was more of like not being disappointed, but it threw me off. It threw me off my balance.
Because I got off your groove.
Because I was already looking at those things, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna go in there and kill it. I'm gonna go do a great job at that house, and it didn't happen. Now I was off balance, right? And I'm just like, okay, well, but and this whole time, Tuesday, I was like, I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m., but now I have to do these. Now I have to do this now. But when that 6 a.m. hit, it was a totally different time. But there was like 12 hours, like 8 hours have gone by, and I'm like waking up fresh. And I'm just like, all right, well, I don't need to do any account. And this is where the real work starts. When you have nothing to do and you have to create something.
There it is. That's the extra part I'm telling you.
Exactly.
I didn't do that also.
Yeah. And I failed to do that. So I woke up with no purpose, and I'm waking up, and I was like, but I see the bed, and I'm like, nobody's keeping me from this. Right? Not knowing.
Also, it's easy. And you're beat. You had been working out. You've been working like crazy.
So it's like
it's easy.
So now, the excuses.
So now I'm like, you know what? I need to go run. Let's make this count. Let's learn something from this.
Well, there's a point there that I want to a little bit into,
Yeah.
and that's that you mentioned that when you were running, and it started to become like a meditation in a way,
Oh yeah.
and you're reflecting on your mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the whole point that I had started with, the whole point was, I hit a wall
Yeah.
like 2-3 years ago, and recently I've okay, so just the other day, my wife was like, "Hey, for our birthdays, we should go and get a facial, like what is it called, like the hydrofacial."
Yeah.
And I was kind of reluctant to go, but then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I guess my skin kind of needs it, and at that point in time, so I was like, fine, we'll go. Well, we get there, and the experience, it was like for me it was great because I tried to learn whatever I can from whatever experience that I'm going through at the time, right? And so I get in there, and it turns out to be more of an education. It was very educational, and the lady was like, "Oh, so you have this type of skin type, and this is how you should do things, and these are the products I recommend." And so once I got out of there, first of all, my skin was able to breathe so much better. It was so great. And then, just getting all the muck out was amazing. It was like getting a massage. It was like after a workout, you know, once you overcome something difficult, that feeling of like victory almost was there. And so I thought to myself, I'm like, man, if a facial did that, what else am I missing? And then I started thinking about the self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Well, working out back then, not only was I sleeping a lot, or not a lot, but more, I was at least getting like consistently 7 to 8 hours, just because my body needed it. Like I could not function if I didn't get that amount of sleep, right? Nowadays, I've been going to sleep late or waking up early and just not getting that complete rest,
Yeah.
right? And then back then, the nutrition was on point. I was getting all my vitamins, all my supplements, all my food, like my fiber, everything was great. And now I've made it almost, it's just been an excuse.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I kind of get obsessed with things, and if I don't have it in full, it's really hard for me to get into it. Like if I like for the in I guess a good example would be the marathon. I wasn't committed to it because of certain things, like I couldn't breathe and I couldn't train, and so I wasn't committed to it. Had I been in good shape, I would have committed to it. Like, that's just the type of person that I am.
But had you committed to it, you would have gotten in shape.
Right. And so I didn't commit to it because I was making excuses.
Yeah.
Right. And so besides all of that,
Mm-hmm.
The whole self-care really just rung a bell with me of how important it is. It doesn't matter if it's just drinking a lot of water or getting enough sleep or even just stepping outside for the day. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that I only step outside to take the dog out for a walk. And so getting in the middle of getting that facial, I was thinking about the self-care, and I'm like, man, this is something that really kind of crumbled when I hit that wall, and I never got back up because I couldn't even pick up the small little pieces. I'm like trying to get back up, doing another thing, like okay, like trying not to be fazed by it. In reality, that was not the reality for me. I had to face what happened. I had to face the feet, even though I didn't like it. And then I had to kind of go back, retrace my steps, and pick up all the crap. And then now I'm here.
So you're saying the facial balanced you up?
Well, the self-care, it was like a meditative process. I'm learning, but at the same time, there's points during the facial where it's like 40 minutes on.
Okay.
And there's points where she wasn't saying anything. So I was just experiencing it, being in the moment. And I realized that being in the moment, or how important being in the moment is, there was no worries. And I wasn't like worried. I was just kind of reflecting on the mistakes. I'm like, man, I haven't worked out in, I would say, all of quarantine. I haven't worked out. That for me, that's insane. Like I feel shitty saying that, but
Yeah.
that's the reality of it.
So what changed? What changed that mentality of working out, understanding to where now it's like you haven't worked out for that long? What changed? What was like that? Because it's one day you're working out, the next day you're not, right? So it's what happened in between that.
So just now processing that question, that's a really good question. I
Yeah.
think that what happened was taking on the responsibility outside of just me. It was, there's a family now, there's
Mhm.
other things that are more important that are happening, that are leaving you depleted, mentally depleted, and work was leaving me mentally depleted, that it was easier for me not to work out. And that became a habit. It became a routine. You wake up, I went to work, I did my work,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I work till 6, 7 p.m. or maybe sometimes 10. Or sometimes I'm still working like at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Like it was just, like I'm still doing good because I'm
Yeah.
working, I'm putting in the work. But I forgot about myself.
So
There it
so
is.
so going back to the balance, so you were unbalanced at that point.
Unbalanced.
So how do you get balance? How do you?
What you just said, which is I focus on yourself.
Self-care
Self-care.
is critical.
But you still have the same responsibilities.
Yeah, but so it was like neglecting it. It was like not putting oil in your car. And then when you put oil in your car, you realize it runs better.
Yeah.
And it was like that. It was like I had
So-
neglected it for so
yeah.
long that it became my normal.
Yeah.
And so when I got that facial, it was like a new me. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about how good this feels.
But if
Or even how like you probably saw how dirty you were,
That too.
and you you're cleaning your face,
Yeah.
and there's like your pores and all that. You
But-
probably saw how dirty you were, and that was that's a nice time to reflect on how.
definitely, but what does that have to do with you not working out anymore?
Well, okay, so
But you didn't
Working-
just stop working out. It's not
it
like
was
one day
like
you stopped.
gradual.
It was like a gradual stop.
well, I was like running
But
a little bit,
That's
but
what I'm talking about. And you bring up some good points. It's like it's a habit, right? It's like the balance. So we need to have all those things because things are gonna change. But if we don't have a schedule, we don't have a balance, we don't have a habit of doing it, of course, we're gonna stop working out because we're gonna see other things.
Yeah, but
as being more important.
you could set it on
But-
your schedule every day. Run 8 miles. You could put it at 6 a.m. every day. Run 8 miles. But your schedule is not going to determine
Exactly.
if you do it
So
or
it
not.
determines on it's determined on me, right? Because if I say my schedule at 6 a.m. to go run, I need to wake up at 6 a.m. to go run. If I don't wake up at 6 a.m. and I wake up at 8 a.m., I already missed my
Mhm.
6 a.m. run. So I'm not gonna run anymore because I'm trying to, do the other things that are on my schedule, which is go clean a house. So it's like it's now turned into a habit and a balance. It's like we could do a lot of things. We could work out. We could run a business. There's people that have proved it. There's millionaires that are working out. They're looking great.
But why
and
aren't
they're
we
running-
doing it?
Exactly.
Why no?
It's-
What I'm asking?
Exactly. It's the imbalance in the lack of habit. Like we choose to do other things. other than this.
100%.
And that's what happened today.
Yeah.
I gave up. I pretty much gave up on the day, and I was like, you know what? That looks better than me moving forward. And I was like, and I went for it because, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not perfect, but you know what? When I ran those 13 miles, it was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn this day around. It doesn't have to be the end, and that's what I'm getting to. We're not always perfect. We're not. But if we keep that mentality of like, you know what, if I fucked up today, I don't have to fuck up the whole day.
Mhm.
And that's what's going to keep us going. we get into this habit of making excuses, and it's like, well, I have this going on, I couldn't work out, and I have this going on, and I couldn't work out. We all have 24 hours in a day, and there's people that are fucking doing it.
But sometimes I just don't feel, and this is just me speaking.
Yeah.
I just don't feel that working out is important.
Not
that
to
day.
you. Not to you.
No, that day. There are days you haven't worked out.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so
For
that's what I'm
sure.
saying. So you have some days realized that working out is not just that important to you.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like everybody's different.
So there are certain
Everybody's
days it
different.
happens, and certain days I realize how important working out is. It's just it's happening to me based on like I want to say it's food intake for me.
Mhm.
I don't have the energy to. I'm tired. The excuses come in. So, but I know it's important, but sometimes it's just not that important to me to work out that day. I don't know. And then it becomes a slow and steady fall.
Mm-hmm.
I start
Then it
5 days a
becomes
week. I start
routine.
like this. I start like, we're going to go in, we're going to go hard 5 days a week. And then 2 months go by, 3 months go by, and I get the rise, and then I get the fall. And then it becomes 4 days a week for about a month.
Right.
And then it becomes, and this is an example.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I work out 4 days a week, but then it goes, it slowly starts to fall. And then it becomes 1 day a week, 1 day every 2 weeks, 1 day every month. And then you realize you get a chemical peel, and then you realize that you have not been working out. That's just how it works.
But I think that's when you realize working out is important, because you could stop working out and still live your life and not worry about that, right? But when you're living a certain life and you're like, man, I need to stay in shape. And that's one of the reasons why I go out and to run. That's one of the reasons why I go work out, because of my business. Because I'm like, I can't expect my business to go 100% when the owner, or when the one that's keeping this business going is at 50%. It's not going to work. So it's like, shit, at least today I worked out, because tomorrow I have a job.
Is that why you work out?
Those one of the reasons why I work out.
What are the other reasons why you work out?
Because I like it.
Okay. What else?
And because it keeps me going, keeps me sane, keeps me that balance.
What about you, Marco? What are the reasons why you work out?
Well, nowadays I haven't been working out.
What is the reason why you should work out?
Why should I work
Why
out?
should
you,
you
for
feel?
For me.
Well, anybody else?
It was it definitely made me feel, one, better about myself. Two, I just felt good. My body felt good. I had a lot of energy, and I mean, just overall, it was just all positive. I never had experienced anxiety before stop working out,
Because you're really
When
using that energy.
because I was always using up the energy. Like, I was going 100% all the time. Like, I was sore 7 days a week, dude.
And that's why I asked what changed, because it seems like that
So-
was helping you.
So what changed what I believe changed is that when I took that L, right, and I was like, oh man, okay, what's important in life right now? Okay, well, all these changes are coming, and then my family and we're all we're going through a hard time at that point in time.
Yeah.
And so the working out was just like, and then I became complacent on how I was, on how I looked. I'm like, okay, I can cheat a little bit. I can eat a little bit more. I can, drink a little bit more and do all these things that I knew I wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it gradually became something. It was like a different monster. And then, going back to the whole facial thing.
Yeah.
Yes, the facial helped to shine a light on it, on self-care. But then the routine of, now I'm washing my face like with specific things, with specific specific soap, a specific I use a specific lotion, all these things. It's like a whole routine. I have to do it in the morning, sometimes during midday, and then at night. And it reminded me of the working out. Like, I remember having to do cardio in the morning and then working out in the evening.
Yeah.
And then throughout the day, having specific times where I had to eat. So it kind of just put me back in the same mentality as I had before. And it just shined a light on how important the self-care is, especially when we're going through a lot. Like, you know, I know we like to sit here and say like, oh, you know, we're business owners. Yes, we are. And we're still people. We're no different. If anything, well, we might be a little bit different, you know, because we chose the harder life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. I'm having fun.
Well, yes, but it's more difficult than.
It doesn't mean that it's not difficult.
There's difficulties in jobs too. We didn't choose we chose a different life.
We're choosing to, you know, and this is the thing. Like, I have the opportunity to get up at 10 a.m. You know, luckily, I'm not saying I did the right thing because I could have done better things, but it's like that's who I am. You know, I was like, and at the same time, it's like I'm doing what genuinely makes me happy, and I'm like, man, I don't have to answer to anybody. I can just get up and go and run 13 miles. And nobody's going to tell me anything. And I'm like, do I want this type of exercise to be for the rest of my life? And I'm like, hell yeah, this is cool. It's cool. So now I ask you, is that change in your life? Are you going to do that for the rest of your life? Are you going to self-care for the rest of your life?
Well, for me, like I said, it's like
you're more conscious now about the care of your face.
And then, well, just self-care in general.
But this has happened many times before. It's happened to Marco many times. It happened to me many times. And it's happened to you many times.
Many times? What?
Forgetting.
Well, we do. And I have forgotten. But I always go, and that's the thing. I always go back to running.
So then why doesn't it, what you're asking a question of Marco is this, it's the answer is, it's because we forget. Like, we forget how important self-care is, or working out is, or these things. We just forget. Yeah. And it's not like it's an intentional forgetfulness. It's just like we said, like life just kind of comes by and we forget. That's it.
Yeah.
We just kind of forget.
So that's when we lose the balance, you could say?
Yeah, when we forget. So then we go back to it. What helps us not forget? Because we're forgetful people.
That's true.
So it's the schedule.
It's writing it down.
It's writing it down. If
having a schedule.
How fast would you remember if you had a schedule? Maybe you go a week without working out, but would you go a year, which some people do?
Yeah, we wouldn't.
I mean, I went 10 months, dude.
But
if you went 10 months, okay, so then it can happen.
Yeah.
And it has happened to me.
Oh, me too.
So then so a schedule would help. It's not like we're going to have to, like, we're not robots. We're not going to get up every day and do that schedule every day. But the schedule the day before helps us go, at least I know what I need to do tomorrow. Yeah. And it's a reminder. So at least every day, it's like, okay, I didn't work out tomorrow morning because something happened. Right, whatever. You make an excuse. But if you check your schedule the next, and I forget how important, and we're going to forget, I forget how important it is to make a schedule.
But you know the crazy thing is, and why I love this and the way we hang out and what we talk about is because of that. Because I could forget, and Robert or Marco are gonna remind me, and so that goes to show the importance of who you're around. Your what is it? Your
your
network is like who you're around. So it's like if you're trying to be successful, you need to be around success.
So
because they're gonna remind you.
You just touched up on a point that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Which is we're talking about this. It's a coin, right? And we're talking about the one side of it, which is if you want to be successful, you need to be doing these things. However, there are people who wouldn't even incorporate working out into being successful.
No, not at all.
And the flip side of that coin, you can have people like Elon Musk. He doesn't seem like he works out.
But you don't know that. You don't know what his personal life is, right?
I don't think he has time to work out.
No, hold on. Well, today I had a workout that you guys would maybe, I don't know, but you guys would laugh at. Because he's over here talking about I ran 13 miles.
That's not for everybody. Hold on.
I know. I know it's not for everybody. But today, what I did, because I was a little sore, I did stretching for 30 minutes. And really, I was just shaking my body, doing those kind of, you know what I was thinking about when I was doing this workout? And you guys might remember this. PE in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Everybody stands on their dot kind of thing. And you twist your
On
arms.
their number.
You know, so
Yeah.
I did that kind of workout today. Hey, whatever helps me keep in shape. That could be the workout that Elon Musk says, which he says, maybe I only run for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's 13 miles. And you, like I said, Marco, when you get into it,
you
go in and you want to like hurt. You want to like go and you do it right and everything. Some people, like you said, don't use that kind of workout but they do get some physical exercise. They do get their cardio.
I would say most people in the U.S. don't exercise.
I don't know.
Dude, we're the high. Well, besides, I think maybe we would have to look this up. But I'm pretty sure we're like at the highest of the, what is it, obesity?
Yeah, it's possible that a lot of people in America don't work out. But to correlate it to success, I think it has a lot to do with it. I don't think it has.
Do you think
everything.
Trump works out? Doubt it. I don't think so.
No, right now the best.
Well, not now, but even back then,
the best healthcare you could find is keeping him alive,
but
and a diet.
But back then, like I don't even think he worked out. He played golf, but I mean, I guess that's a workout.
He was probably, I don't know. I can't say for his workout, but are we correlating workout to success? Where you're saying some people are successful and don't work out? Yes. Are those outliers?
Yeah.
Yes, possibly outliers. Very few successful people who don't work out become successful. But it's not like, but for the most part, I think if we put it on a graph, I think focusing on your cardiovascular health is probably important for your success. Now we have to define what success is.
Yeah.
And he actually said, I was actually asking you, why did it stop? And one thing was you were discussing, what was your goal? What was your workout goal? Because when we were training for the marathon was my workout goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do 100 push-ups in a row. That's my goal right now. I don't care about running 13 miles right now. I care about push-ups right now. I'm trying to get to my goal. And then the other goal is we're trying to go to Mount Whitney. So I need to carry weight and do squats and then do these things because I'm trying to get ready. So I have a goal. I have a reason to work out.
Mm-hmm.
But the other reason is mental health. Now, could we correlate all this to success?
Yeah. In some ways, yeah. For some people.
But not all of it. It's
not
a part of it. So we need more meditation.
Well,
network.
Okay. Because I don't want to feel like we're preaching. And so this is kind of like what works for us guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? This is
I wouldn't be speaking on it if it didn't work for me or if this isn't the thing I use or do.
But this is who I am. I'm the type of guy that's gonna go out there and run 13 miles.
That's everybody's different. Now, are we just saying though, as a general rule,
we're just saying what works for us, what's been working for me, and
to balance our life, to go back to balance our life.
That's the way because I'm not perfect, man, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm perfect and I wake up at fucking 4 a.m. workout.
You don't even have to tell us you're not perfect or you're perfect. We know you're not perfect.
Exactly.
You don't have to say it.
But not a lot of my friends can go out with me and run 13 miles. They can't, right? So it's like that's who I am, and I'm gonna try to change who I am, and that's gonna be today. I was successful. I failed at the beginning horribly. And if my daughter is watching and hearing this, she's going to be like, damn, Dad, you said 6 a.m. And I did. And I failed. But you know what? I went back and I'm like,
you still got it done.
This is all I have right now. So I'm going to go hard. I'm going to continue my day. I'm not going to let that failure, define my whole day. And that's what happens is people fail in the morning, which is the toughest part, in my opinion. And then they let the whole day fail. And then it's easier now to fail the next day because they survived the first fail. So it's like the second day, I'm going to fail again because it's not bad. Third, fourth, a week, 2 weeks, and you fall into that slump in your months. And I've been there. So it's like surrounding yourself with like-minded people is going to get you through that. Not yourself because it's like it's hard.
Did you need us to get you back up or no?
No, because it was the accountability. It's like, because I'm painting a picture to you guys that I'm trying to do this. And if I'm not upholding that, it's like you guys are gonna question me.
When I'm not at my best, and when I figured it out, much like you,
I told you guys,
it's because I think about him.
Yeah.
I think about this group. I think about my wife.
Yeah.
I think about my family. I think about a lot of people, and I go, oh my God, I'm like letting people down because I'm not being healthy. Like I'm letting people down. Like there's an accountability to it as well too.
And that's my world. That's the way I define success, and the way I want to be successful is the people that actually care for my well-being is the people that I'm actually want them to see me succeed. You know, so and that I think it applies to both of you guys. It's like we're all here to succeed, and we're doing this. And man, you've come a long ways. You've come from, you know, having these mics where the sound was to this, and it's like persistence, but at the same time, it's like your surroundings. People
you were getting feedback from us.
Yeah,
and you were getting from the group of people around you.
Yeah, so that's very important. That's very important. And, you know, if we can do this, anybody can. It's just that mindset. It's just that getting woke, understanding that nothing comes easy. Running those 13 miles was not easy, man. I suffered, and I wanted to quit. There was times where I took some steps, and I'm like, I'm going to call a Lyft because it's so easy nowadays. But that's when you fucking push, and you know what? I'm going to turn this fucking day around, and it's going to be so successful that I'm going to be sharing that I run 13 miles. And I'm not bragging, but I'm proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because not anybody can go out there and run 13 miles. It's like, but because of you guys, because of the circle that I'm around, because of my family. So that's what pushing me. So the question is what's pushing us to be successful? You know?
Well, yeah, like he said, like Robert said, now we have to define success, because success is different for different people, and then you also brought up another point, which was what is your goal for working out? And for me, it's to get back on the horse, to get back on where I fell.
Where you feel great, right?
Because I felt great.
Definitely.
Now I feel good because now I have like a little routine. I wake up in the morning, do everything I'm supposed to do before I go to sleep. Same thing. I'm feeling good. My skin looks better. Like, yeah, I feel good. And so now it's like, okay, but my body doesn't feel good. So, okay, I need to feel good. I need to be able to, I don't know. I mean, forever. Okay, one of the motivations back then was being strong and agile, because you never know when something may happen.
Bro, I buy runs. That's what I think about.
What?
So I'm like running, and I have my camel pack, and I was like, you know what? I need a pepper spray. I need a blade. I need this. I need to be prepared. Somebody comes right from behind. But that's the thing. It's like, that's putting you on your game because you're being active.
Mm-hmm.
You're like going. Your mind is running. You know.
So it's survival crazy. Is one of the reasons. Survival is
one of the reasons
you work out.
Why I was working out.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think about that too, and I'm like, what if something happens?
Well, when I work out, for me, one of the two reasons why I work out is it's because I'm gonna die if I don't, and number two is because I want to be good at sex. Like I have endurance during sex. I want to look good during sex. I want to feel good during sex. I want to give my as much as optimal performance as I can during sex.
What's the feedback? Positive?
Well, I'm still married, so that might be good.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
It's like the best 3 minutes, man.
You know what? It's not about the duration, okay?
Or did she give up? She gave up in life. She's like, this is all I get.
No, it's all about. It's about form. It's about form.
What do you mean form?
You gotta have good form. You gotta have good posture? And endurance.
What are you filming a porno or what?
No, what you want to do is you don't want to cramp up. You don't need to at my age, 33. You don't need to if you're stretched out.
Have you though? Have you?
I have. I have cramped up, and I've noticed that in me, and I'm like, I'm too young to be running out of breath like this. Like I should be going.
But see, that means either one or two. You're too old. Or you're just going fucking hard.
Well, I'm not too old. It's because I want to better my sex life. I want a better sex life.
That's a good point.
And I also don't want to die. So those are two
Yeah.
great things like
Yeah.
I'm so there is purpose behind my
See-
workout. And then I have mini goals.
See, for me back then, okay, yeah, I would say it was like 2016, 2017 when I was really, really like just, I was like 210, jacked, just going hard. Well, we used to go to a lot of bars, and I needed it was like intrinsic. It was an instinct that was making me do this. It was the fact that we were around a lot of people, especially like you walked into a bar, the testosterone was off the charts. I needed to feel like I was not in charge, but like I needed to put set my place in there.
The
I needed
alpha is the alpha.
well, sort of, because
I think it is.
having like a beautiful wife, it was like it was always a challenge. There was always, dude, always there was always people hating on her, and that was one of the motivators, is that when I was jacked, nobody came around.
You wanted to feel strong enough that you could protect your girl, your
Yes.
woman,
Yes.
your lady, your hyena.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
like,
That's a great motivator.
And then, dude, nobody
I
would.
think that's survival.
That's part of the survival.
part of the
You're
survival.
That's
You're
what I said.
surviving the
And I would
fucking
say procreation's like survival right there.
But see, this is the thing. Marco understood what he was walking with, and he's like, "Man, I gotta step up my game. I gotta go. Otherwise, it's done." And so that's a motivator.
That's another
definitely.
one.
A motivator to
Mhm.
continue
It's
to
survival, right?
procreate
You were
and-
surviving.
It was survival.
You got thrown into this jungle, and,
And,
you're
and
like,
you know what?
"Shit,
Very
I
very
gotta
similar
fucking-"
to mine. You wanted to protect your sex.
Yeah, that's
That's
goes,
it.
That's the
That
whole
you
thing.
wanted to survive. Number one, that you could
Mhm.
survive the night at a bar, and you also wanted to protect your sex. So it's very similar motivators to working out here, on
no,
a different
for sure,
paradigm.
for sure.
At that time, dude,
Yeah.
my testosterone was off the charts.
Now you feel like you locked it. You're like, yeah, I'm good.
And you know what? Okay, so that's another good point. Is that I was going to talk to you about this because you've had experience in this, you know, in this what we're going to talk about, which was when you're like becoming ready to become a dad. Like, and this is, hear me out. The dad bod, is it the dad bod for a reason? Why do most men, upon getting married or upon having kids, the first thing that happens is they start getting this dad bod?
Yeah.
Is it the time? Is it the shift in responsibility? Like what happens? I mean, you've been through this.
It's the fact that you don't have to impress any other girl.
There it is. You locked it.
Yeah.
You cuffed it.
So, okay. So again, for me at that point in time, I was like, okay, I feel good. You know, I'm good with my body. I'm set. Like I don't have to do much, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that was like, okay, well now I'm married, and now I have a lot of work. So it became many different things that contributed to the fact that I stopped working out.
Yeah.
And I recently found out, like, dude, I'm doing myself a disservice, because now it's about keeping it. It's about keeping the girl. It's about being able to perform and being able to
Protect.
and now being able to work prolonged hours that the business requires you to work. Now that is my motivator.
Provide.
Yeah, that is my motivator now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's like I have to get back on that horse, man, because
But fine. He's a dad. He's a dad, and
yeah,
he's,
but
and
now,
Whoa,
but
whoa,
now,
hold
and
on,
he
hold
still
on.
has a dad bod, but now
What do you mean? What do you mean, that?
but he gets it. He still gets into
This
his
guy.
slumps. He
Hey,
still
I
gets
do,
into
I do,
slumps, and yet
I
he's
do,
a
I do.
dad,
Yeah.
and he's a provider. So like, it doesn't stop. It's not gonna stop until you fix your schedule,
But check this
and
out.
we get it.
but
we
he's
get it
not.
right.
He's not after a partner right now.
Yes, he is.
Well, no.
He's after the. I mean, you're just living the single life.
I'm just
When you're living the single life, that means you're after a
hold on.
partner.
I'm just living my life. I'm just living what needs to be done, right? And I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to to finding that girl.
Ladies, if you're listening to this,
I'm not opposed to
You
that.
notice how he silenced? He didn't try to interrupt you. He
I was
kind of
like,
wanted you to finish this announcement.
Is this a plug? Continue. But look, this is the thing. I think about that all the time too. When I'm running, and I'm like, man, I'm a single guy. I get if I'm hanging out with a girl and it goes beyond that, I gotta be able to perform. This is my reputation. I need to be able to be on point. Because those are your greatest critics. Your wife, she loves you already. If you suck at sex, she loves you. If you suck at sex with somebody that you're just talking, your name right here from the kid. So it's like this is a game. It's like I'm in shape because of the fact that I want to last in my business, but at the same time, I want to make a good impression for a girl, potentially a wife, whatever. But dude, the ratings, bro, it's about ratings. I'm like, I don't want to be at the lowest. I don't want some girl talking about, damn, that guy sucked. He wasn't in shape. He had fucking belly. This, that. I was like, man, like that's what I'm talking about. It's like, but at the same time, that's my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mentality of always trying to,
Greg said that round is a form too.
It is.
Okay.
But that's the thing.
No.
That's why.
Dude, Greg just got a bike, a stationary bike.
But
He's
that's
been hitting
the,
it
that,
daily
that's why
too.
the dad bod the dad bod exists, because some girls are into the bellies. There's a little bit for everybody, but I'm trying to be also healthy in and if I meet somebody, I hope that they're also in shape. I'm gonna keep up that.
I asked you that question because knowing how important I know, because when you know, you don't forget, or you forget but you still know.
Yeah.
Underneath it all, you still know you're fucking up. You still know you shouldn't be eating the McDonald's
For sure,
and
everything
drinking.
we discussed. You still know.
We still already know.
Oh man.
What happens? What happens when we start getting into the 30s and mid 30s and you start getting that dad bod appearance? What is happening? Is it genetic? Is it because we need to store a little bit more fat?
No, I think
for a reason.
I think it's getting comfortable.
No, okay. Well, we do need to touch up on this, and you brought this up earlier when we were discussing this. We're getting older. Our metabolism isn't the same anymore. We can go eat that same cheeseburger, and it's gonna hit us differently. We can try to. Before we used to work out for one day, we'd fucking go crazy. Now it's gonna take us 2 weeks. Things are changing. And I'm trying not to like beat myself up for how fast this isn't going away or this isn't building, but we're getting older.
Yeah.
And that's changing. And our food consumption lifestyle is only currently changing. I don't know about you guys, but I was really bad for a couple months.
Dude, I've been bad this whole quarantine. Bro, I've been bad this whole quarantine.
Wait, it's been happening. So if we're not changing that and keeping up with our age, we're really fucking up. So that has a lot to do with it, our age and our food consumption.
But I think
that's such a good point.
I think that's where self-care comes in, right?
Self-care.
Yeah.
We have to take care of ourselves.
Self-care is also eating good.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not the one to say that I eat the greatest. I try. But what I do is stretch out. I fucking stretch. Every night I'm there. I'm watching TV. I'm doing some sort of stretch. Why? Because you're right. We're getting older and our body is changing. But that doesn't mean, we're going to fucking stop. It means that we need to be more aware of the things that we can do. Because I can't, like before in my early 20s, dude, we could have partied Thursday through fucking Saturday and be cool and recover Sunday and go back to work at 6 a.m. the next day. Now it's like, man, I party one night, the next 3 days is recovery, and I made the mistake of trying to party the whole weekend, and man, I paid for it, and it sucks.
I know, we don't recover.
Recovery time is taking 2-3 days.
That's
Dude,
a reality.
Now I have to get into that, what is it, the hyperbolic time chamber?
Man,
like Dragon Ball Z? Like to recover, you have to give me some of that miracle water, dude.
Isn't that crazy that existed? Just a fucking drink where you're like back. You're back.
That would be that would be great. I think I would use that every day. Greg just said he's gonna hop on the bike now.
Dude,
So
let's go.
hopefully
Go.
hopefully this podcast
Go.
helped someone there.
Go.
And he said he was putting in some miles.
Dude, he said he's putting in 50. His goal is to put 50 miles a week.
That's good.
That's a on the bike. That's great.
Dude,
That's 10 miles a day.
My goal in the beginning of the year was to put in
He said
1,000.
Greg says getting on the bike now. See, there he goes.
Hey,
Good
Greg.
job, Greg.
Hey, Greg, get it. Just move. That's all you
Round
gotta
is up
do.
for him.
That's all you gotta do is move. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, for me, it took me 3 hours. Even though I'm supposed to have this mindset, right? Of this fucking, I know all this stuff. But, man, everything goes out the window once you're in your bed, laying there, you're comfortable. You're just like, I can go another 3 hours. But you understand that you need to get up.
How do you listen to the person in your or to the voice in your head saying,
Man,
you need to be healthy, you need to sleep better, you shouldn't be drinking at this time, and you should be working out? Like, how do you listen to that person? It's just, you just listen to it. Yeah, that's really easy to say, but how many times does that voice have to say it in order for you to finally get up and go?
oof, that's a battle itself right there. Because
I reach like a mental low. Do you reach a mental low?
I think I
Well, you start beating yourself up.
No, I think
Heavy.
it's a fucking fight. It's a fight, and that's what makes you. That's what's gonna make you or break you. And if it probably sounds cheesy, but it's like you're fighting this thing that you can't. It's not. You're not physically fighting it. It's mentally, so it becomes twice as hard because now it's yourself. You're not trying to impress anybody by getting up and running 13 miles.
So true. It's not about sex anymore. It's
At that point in time,
it's
just
just
like,
about you.
It's
Gotta
about
go.
It's about what you talked about. It's about what you put out there. Because I've been talking to my daughter, man, and I'm like, man, I created this thing that we have to be here, and I'm down here, and I'm like, shit,
your
I gotta catch up.
expectations and your
So
standards.
I'm like, man, I'm fighting all of this. This is a battle, and this is a daily thing, and people might see me now as like this guy that's on his game, and we see a lot of people like that online. Other people, the people that might not know me, and they see me and they see the way we've improved. They're like, nah, these guys, nah, man, this is the opposite. This is not, no, this is real. This is real life. Like, we're out here struggling. We're struggling, man. We're struggling with the fact that I could sleep another hour and it's gonna be okay because nobody can tell me anything but myself.
I like how you said that when you do get those extra 2 hours, 3 hours, you're not even resting.
No, I'm not.
The whole time you're just feeling guilty.
I'm tossing and turning.
And turning.
I hear the ring of the phone and I hear the text and I'm like, I have to be up. But at the same time, I can't. Dude, it is a
I can't describe it. I don't even want to like make an excuse for it that mentally incapable of doing it. But I will say that it's psychologically one of the hardest things I have to do in my life.
What do you think happened? Because I feel like my mom was really disciplined. I don't know if your moms are the same or your parents are super disciplined. What happened to the millennial? What happened to our generation? What happened to generation?
I thought about that.
X and Z.
They had to. When you have to, you will.
There's a famous quote. I don't know. I forget who it says it, but it says, "Hard times make." Shit, I think I'm screwing it up.
Hard people.
Well.
Oh wait. Great. Strong people.
Yeah. Hard times make strong people. Easy times makes. And then hard people make easy times. Easy times make weak people.
Yes.
So are we just in that cycle? Is it until we just literally try to obliterate everyone and we're in a war where we're going to make those hard people again?
Or why are we not the hard people?
But that's my point, because what happened to us? Like,
because I believe the millennial got the worst. And the only reason why, other than the Great Depression, like the millennial got the worst because we're really getting hit on so many
psychologically. Last week we talked about the social dilemma.
Economically,
Economically?
we're getting hit multiple times, and it's deteriorating our retirement fund that we don't know how we're going to make it in this generation. So I think it's hitting us a little bit differently than it's hit other generation. I'm not sure, but you know, there's been pretty shitty times.
I mean, I think everything falls on education, on money management. You know, my parents, they came from another country, foreign country, Mexico, to a new world. They were 19, young people, you know. They came out here, they didn't know any better other than let's have a better life, right? And for them was, we have to work and provide for our kids, which was me and my 4 other brothers, right? That's all they knew. My dad gave me an allowance. He every time once I started kindergarten, first he would give me $1, $2. But for him, that was helping me. But he never said, how do you spend this dollar? How do you multiply this dollar, right? So all my life they kept telling me, save money, do this, but never explained why. So I grew up as an adult, understanding that I need to save money. I didn't know why. And then I got all these credit cards, and I got into debt and all of this stuff. It took me about, you know, till I'm now 34, you know, I realized this not too long ago, where I'm like, man, money management is important. But that's all they knew. So it's like, now it's my job, now that I understand something different, and now that I have a daughter, it's like we're changing this whole thing. But that's because that's all my parents knew.
But my question is, why is it that we became, for lack of a better word, lazy, soft, weak? And not all of us.
But
there's people.
That's why I don't believe it. I don't know.
What do you mean weak? Like, how soft? Like, what do you mean?
The fact that we have trouble waking up at 6 a.m. because we know we have to get up.
Because we don't have to.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have to. This is not based on survival.
No.
We're very comfortable here. And I know I said that millennials have it the worst economically, maybe, but maybe even not even that.
Lifestyle is probably the best.
Dude,
right?
This is easy.
See, my parents had no choice but to wake up at 6 a.m. because I had to go to work.
But so do we.
Yeah.
Like we still have shit to pay.
But it's not even just about work. It's about, I don't know. Back then, my grandpa, my dad, like everybody that was older, I mean, they were like built. They didn't work out, but they were strong men. Dude, right now, I'm telling you, my if someone were to like kick me in the knee, it's gonna shatter my knee.
You don't do construction though.
Yeah.
You don't do heavy work. I don't know what kind of work were they doing.
Well, I mean, back then, you know,
I know
they did farming. They did a bunch of shit.
That's rough work.
But we're talking about a lot of things right now. We're talking about their diet. What was their diet?
There wasn't as much preservatives and processed
We're eating
foods.
McDonald's.
We're eating McDonald's. Yeah.
They weren't eating
processed
that.
food.
They were eating.
They were eating out of what they were harvesting.
The food of their people.
So So I guess I understand why then. How do we go back? How do we go back to becoming these strong? I'm just gonna say strong, not macho men, but like strong men who are disciplined, but you know, just strong.
I think you're talking about a different world. I think you're talking about this world is we have machines now. We have, you know, machines to run things.
We have to go to a fucking warehouse with a bunch of machines just to be as strong as our ancestors. That's called a gym, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
That never existed. Like, I don't know how many years. This is different.
It's different.
That because they had to.
Yeah,
they had to get on a treadmill. They had to get on a bike, or sort of say.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to do that anymore. So we have to actually like consciously build that into our software,
day to day, right?
Our day to day, like as if like it's something to do in the morning. It's like, no, we were supposed to be, well, not what we were supposed to be, but we were on like a farm for
we were
for
waking up at
hours.
dawn.
We literally need to reconnect with our primal selves.
So what I was going to say, you asked, how can we go back? One of the things that I've been thinking about lately has been, I need to eat like my ancestors. I need to eat that genetic code shit. I need to get. I know I don't like the nopales, but my grandparents were eating that. That puts me at my genetic optimal level. If I don't know if I could say like, but obviously that's what they were eating because we're getting food from all over the world right now. So if we want to go back to our primal like ancestry,
frijoles.
No, if you're trying to go back to your primal,
then what was the food? What was the food?
They were harvesting their own food. Are you gonna go?
What food?
Harvest?
No, what food was that? What food is that?
What was it? Beans?
That's what he just said.
But that's what I'm talking about. You're trying to go back to your ancestors. Is that means they were hunting, they were planting.
So beans. So what were they planting? That's what he's asking a question. I'm trying to give a specific answer.
But nowadays you don't have to though.
Why?
Because we have a grocery store where you can go pick them up.
I'm not saying we're gonna make the food. I'm saying we need to eat the food that our ancestors made.
You can't.
Why?
Because they were harvesting their own food.
Wait, how do you think we get? Why do you think we get groceries in the grocery store? What do you think organic is?
Man, come on.
What food? Can we first start talking about the food before we describe how we're going to get the food? Let's talk about what the food is first. What's the food? What's the food of your people?
What were they harvesting?
Literally, it was like beans, corn.
So they have
corn?
that?
Are you sure?
Did they have corn all year?
It wasn't. It wasn't the same kind of corn that we're eating now.
No, it was less processed, but it was still corn.
It wasn't even the same.
But did they have corn all year? We have corn all year.
Yeah, that's what. So you have to eat at those optimal times then. But you also have to.
So then harvest your own food, and then you're really gonna eat like your ancestors.
What food? If we're talking about it,
well, I don't know. Whatever they were harvesting at the time.
So let's talk about that food. I know we have to harvest it, Gil. Like I know we have to do the food. What I'm saying is,
but we don't have to. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to.
Then we don't have to. But what food is it?
I don't know.
I don't care about that part.
What's in season? What's in season right now?
Was chicken available to our ancestors?
Eggs.
Eggs.
So eggs available. Are in season all year.
So we have to eat eggs, beans.
What else?
We
beans?
talked about rice.
Are beans
was rice?
Was rice available all year?
Rice actually is something.
We're all from like Mexico, right?
There you go.
We're all from Man, what? Okay.
Eres más indio que
this guy. We're past it, but that's the thing you're talking about. We don't have to go back to.
Why not?
Because we don't have to.
But our ancestors weren't eating fucking quarter pounders.
So we don't eat quarter pounders. That's the solution.
And that's not what we're saying is, but if you're gonna eat like your ancestors,
exactly.
What
so
food
harvest
was that?
I don't know. Because I don't have to eat like.
That's why I'm trying to look it up. Jesus, I know. Okay, what?
But that's what I'm talking about. You're talking about eating like your ancestors.
I'm so happy that you guys are this passionate about this.
What foods? What foods are we? Mayan, Aztecs, Spaniards?
We're probably Aztec.
Would you say Aztec?
So we're in Nopales.
We're Aztec, for sure. Who were conquistadores.
How about this? What food was available in Mexico in 1300s, 1800s?
Okay, it probably just beans, meat.
What type
eggs,
of meat? What type of meat?
What were red and
what were they hunting? Do you know?
That back there. Well,
we
had a lot of cattle back then.
Some of the foods, Mexican food during the 1800s. This is what I'm trying to find out, Gil. Not about. I know we can get these foods anywhere. Jesus. Okay, some of the foods were corn, tomatoes, chocolates, peanuts, vanilla, beans, squash, avocados, coconuts, sunflower seeds, and chili peppers. So that is the foods that are that's
where you're gonna eat. That's where you're gonna eat.
That's called that.
What he asked a question.
That's called mole.
What foods should we eat to go back? And then this is the food.
Mole is good though.
Mole is delicious.
Dude, mole makes like almost like 90% of that.
So there you go. So eat like your ancestors. That's it right there. Those are the foods.
Well, nowadays with the science that we have available is that we can figure out how to optimize our body.
Oh, if you're lacking some type of nutrition.
Well, yes, but see, when you start doing the bodybuilding, the traditional way is that you figure out how your body responds to certain foods, because you may not even be able to eat like your ancestors. You may actually have evolved with, or you might have been born with a sort of mutation, which might have changed the way you eat. Like there's a lot of people who can't process milk. right? Maybe your ancestors did drink a lot of milk.
But they didn't. They don't
Well,
say that.
Well,
So they didn't
I'm
drink
just
it.
saying. I don't know. I'm sure they use milk for whatever reason. If they
Hey, do
cheese.
we know who's the first person that
for what?
drank milk?
Someone who's starving. I mean, imagine going
just-
under an
just-
udder and just drinking the milk. I mean, I don't know. That's
crazy,
now
huh?
that when we talk about innovation
That's
before
crazy.
the podcast.
That's
That's
crazy.
innovating.
Right?
And imagine from the very first person who drank goats or cow's milk, it
But-
came a multi-billion-dollar industry where you have cheese, you have dairy farms,
everything.
you have pastries,
But-
bakeries revolve around milk.
So let's go back to that time, right? When guy or girl was starving, and they're like, "I gotta get whatever
Necessity,
food."
survival.
And you grab a cow's tit, and you just
It's
start
an
squeezing
udder.
it.
Yeah.
What gives you that idea?
Hold
Of
on.
hunger.
I have to say this. I have to read because you're talking about this.
Okay.
Hunger is the
Um,
biggest
And
motivator.
this is on
But
Aztec.
how?
This is on Aztec. So
Oh,
we're
oh.
going back 15. We're going back.
All right.
This is the domesticated creatures was the turkey as well as the dog and bees. These were the domesticated creatures that the Aztecs had.
So they were consuming honey.
I
yes.
don't know about dogs.
Dogs probably to guard.
No, oh,
herd?
you're right. For herding, because they're domesticated creatures.
Yeah,
We're not talking about like that's the creatures we
No.
ate. So
turkeys.
yeah, you're right.
I'm
you're right.
sure. I'm sure they eat turkey.
Turkey was their poultry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was turkey eggs, and all kinds of fruit, tortillas, grains of maize.
But isn't it so? Who started eating the chicken? Who said that animal is okay to eat? Let's eat that.
What
Man, back-
did we evolve the chicken? Did we genetically create the chicken?
Well, I'm thinking that there might have been like what you would consider wild chicken. Yeah.
Oh, the dog, turkey, and duck were the only domesticated livestock. Sheep, goats, pig, cattle, horses were introduced by the Spanish. There you go.
So the Spanish were eating.
They brought the pigs and the goats and the sheep, which brought the milk and the cheese and all that.
Man, that's
Maize
crazy.
was a universal staple and the basis of the economy.
corn.
Oh, the maize, the corn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
Maize is corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so
It's-
this is it. I mean, God, you want to go back, look up these foods, and it's really, isn't it the basic food that they tell us to eat all the time when we need to go on diets? This is the basic food.
It's just literally low carb. And well, if you really want to optimize the way your body responds to
Hey,
food, you need to figure out what type of food to eat
So-
when you're not working out, what type of food to eat once you work out, and then the supplements play a big role.
So let's go forward 20 years. You think the diet's gonna change?
It's going to be a pill.
It's already changing.
You're just going to have to drink a pill.
That's it. That's
You're going to get
And-
all your supplements in a pill.
Yeah, and we should be doing that now. And then we should eat
whatever
like,
we want.
empty foods for taste and for culinary purposes. But we should have the pill now and just get our nutrients and then enjoy food as it is and get rid of the sugar and the you know what I mean? Like get rid of all that stuff and then we just eat food for its.
But isn't that why we eat the food? Because of the sugar and the.
Yeah, it's probably true. I mean, I do.
Well, there's many types of sugar. There's good sugar. There's bad sugar. Man,
But you think it's gonna evolve in the next?
I
20
think
years?
that we're always evolving.
So the food.
The food's
food-
always going to be evolving. I'm sure that one day we're going to look at McDonald's and these other fast food companies like the tobacco industry. They're still there. You can still eat them, but for sure, people are dying because of it.
Because you think people are getting woke to the idea of
Well,
that's not good for us.
well, yes, because of the internet. See, the ideas that we're talking about today,
Mhm.
other people can listen to that, and if their immediate household had never challenged their ideas of eating fast food, now someone has. And so the more we do this, the more people are connected to the internet, which is like, I don't know, dude. It's like a double-edged sword for me. It's also good, but it's also really bad. So yeah,
The internet,
but yeah, I mean, we
the
talked
world
about that.
news, whatever.
Well, just information in general. It's being shared in light speed. You know,
That's crazy.
you can be in Japan right now and still listen to this podcast instantly. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So
Man.
information is just flowing back and forth, and the ideas are going back and forth. And, you know, if they're listening to this podcast, well, now we challenge them about their health and the nutrition and the exercise.
Yeah.
And maybe this will, I mean, it got Greg on the bike.
Go, Greg.
So that's
Greg.
the success of
Way to
this
go,
podcast
Greg.
right there.
Just fucking do it. Just move.
He's probably at like 3 miles right now. He's like, oh man, he's got to go to 10. He already knows that.
That's
Yeah,
good.
if
Go.
3 miles is good too.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Go to 10. Just go.
For that, just go to 15.
20. Who cares?
Just do your 50 miles today, dude. You don't have to worry about it the rest of the week.
Yeah, that's true. You can just get it done in one day. Could you
Man,
get it done?
that's
How long
crazy.
would it take 50 miles on a bike?
I don't know. I've never.
50 miles? It would probably take like 2.5 hours if you have a good pace.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's
Greg,
not bad.
Greg, come on, man. You could get 50 miles
know.
out in a day.
I don't know.
By the
man.
time
It's like-
time this podcast finishes, you'd be like at 30.
Call Greg. We'll tell him we won't finish this podcast until he's done with 50 miles.
Nah, Greg is struggling right now.
Keep it going. I'll call him. I'll call him and see what he's doing.
Greg.
Oh, he's at 5 miles.
Oh,
5
he's at 5 miles?
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, come on. Step that up.
No, then I'm not staying here that long.
Man, you ain't going up hills?
He probably has it on the tension where you set the resistance. And Greg, do you have resistance set? Probably. So balanced life. We got eating like our ancestors.
Nah, you were eating like my ancestors. I'm fucking.
First off, you eat like your ancestors because you go to El Pollo Loco every single
Bruh.
day.
Dude, Pollo Locos. I'm going to own a franchise.
That's what I'm
gonna
saying.
own a
He
Pollo
eats like
Loco
his
franchise.
ancestors all the time. I love El Pollo Loco too.
Dude,
They're
it's-
so good.
But you know what? It's service, man. It's the people.
I like the value that I get from El Pollo Loco. They give you lemons, serrano
If you ask
chilies,
for it, you have to ask for it.
pico de gallo, avocado sauce, all that. But you just have to ask for it. It's free. So I like that value.
But not all the Pollo Locos are the same. I'll tell you that.
Cilantro.
Well, when they're a franchise,
But they're
Yeah.
not all the same, though. The
that's what I'm
service is-
saying.
It's like
when it's a franchise,
I go-
there's different owners.
I go to
they have
the
different,
I go to the one in Tustin at the Tustin Marketplace. Dude, great service. My burrito's always full. They give me. I ask for salsa. They probably already. I'm there all the time. So they give me a lot of salsas and they give me everything I need. I go to other ones, dude. Their burritos are so skinny. It's like, what is this? Their tortilla chips are stale. They give me two salsas. So I think it's like, it depends on who's running that franchise as well, because man, the training. So when I get my Pollo Loco, you're gonna get the best service. So you guys better check that out.
What franchise would you purchase, Marco?
me personally,
Food franchise, yeah.
food franchise. Honestly, I would say In-N-Out if they sold, but they don't.
Yeah, that's a.
So it's not a franchise, but if it were a franchise, In-N-Out. Why? Because it's always fresh, it's consistent, the service always good, and they're always packed.
In-N-Out's not a franchise.
Always, and that's what I'm saying. If they were a franchise,
Oh,
I would pick In-N-Out.
okay. Since they're
So
not.
if
Since they're not, I would say maybe like Flame Broiler
What's a
or
good one?
Wobble Grill,
That's a good one.
or even Chipotle would be a good one.
Ooh, Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Nice. Yeah, I
Chipotle.
like Chipotle. Ooh, that's a tough decision now. Chipotle over El Pollo Loco.
mm,
Honestly, I've never had a lot of good
experiences.
experiences with El Pollo Loco.
I'm going with Chipotle. If I could choose a franchise over
It's
El
just
Pollo
so
Loco,
it's consistent. You're always gonna get.
and it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so simple and easy to operate and run, and like it's 2 spaces. El Pollo Loco's menu is crazy. I gotta
Yeah.
manage all that stuff. No, let's just get it
Imagine
simple.
you get, like,
you want a
taquitos,
burrito or
you
a
get-
bowl?
Yeah, dude.
Salad? What do you want? Like, let's go. Let's keep the line moving. Get
Hey,
the
that's
guy.
why In-N-Out got it right.
They only have
Yeah.
like 3 things on the menu. Yeah, no, In-N-Out's good too.
But see, if they sold, In-N-Out would be my one. That's the one I would have.
Okay.
Consistent, tastes really good. The service is phenomenal, and it's always busy. It doesn't matter from the time they open to the time they close. There's a line. The In-N-Out right here.
Yeah.
There's a line all day. During the first few months of quarantine, the line was 2 hours, and people would wait.
Have you guys seen them advertise anywhere?
In-N-Out.
They don't, huh?
Wait. They sing the song.
YouTube.
That's what our
YouTube.
hamburgers all about.
Yeah.
Is that In-N-Out?
Yeah,
That's
I
In-N-Out?
think on YouTube. Yes.
I haven't seen.
I haven't
a
seen
commercial.
advertisements in a long
I
time. That's
haven't
why.
from them.
No, I mean I don't think so. I don't think they need to right now during quarantine. People know there's In-N-Out.
Yeah.
That's
It's
crazy.
always been busy, dude. Every In-N-Out
That's
that I've ever
crazy.
gone to, it's always been busy.
I don't ever feel like I'm eating bad when I go to In-N-Out. Like when I go to McDonald's, I know I'm a piece of shit. But when I go to In-N-Out, I don't ever feel like I'm eating bad.
So this
Like, it
is
doesn't feel bad.
So this is my question: do you guys know where the potatoes are coming from
No.
when you're
Nope.
eating In-N-Out? Do you know where the patties are coming
I don't know
from?
where anything is coming from.
So
They
so
say
it
they're
could
locally
be,
sourced.
it could be processed.
Yeah.
We would never know.
Yeah, we would never know.
They could get the cheapest lettuce.
Well, no, hold
we would
on.
never know.
The In-N-Out.
They don't even have.
no.
Oh, yeah, they do.
So
Yeah.
In-N-Out, one of their things, and you're right about this. I don't know if they're processed or not, but the thing that makes me feel like why I don't feel like I'm eating shitty food is because In-N-Out locally sources their food. That's what I've heard about them.
But you
So-
don't know for.
but I don't
you
know
know
if
that for
like
a
that
fact?
local place is like
Local to California or local to the.
local to like the country. Like they're not getting their stuff
Because
internationally.
you gotta think about this. In-N-Out is year round, right?
Mhm.
So is lettuce. So is tomato. So is potatoes. Are they year round?
I'm gonna look this up.
I think so.
Are they?
Yeah,
Where you could harvest them freshly.
I'm sure.
But man, when you're talking about In-N-Out, you're talking about big lines, right?
Yeah.
How much can a local producer produce to
Well,
stock?
California. I mean, we have a lot of land here. We don't think that because we like to live in cities where it's all full. But there's a lot of land to.
So your definition of fresh means 1, 2 days, 5 days, 10 days,
I'm thinking that it's like 5 days at the most,
5 days. Is that?
and that's
fresh?
just me
Is that-
speculating.
Is that fresh? though?
But it's fresher than I'm sure most things in
Than
McDonald's,
Mickey D's.
dude.
Hey, but Mickey D's, man.
They just got
Oof.
it down too. I mean,
Did you see the movie?
yes,
What did you think? What do you think about that movie?
that is literally thinking outside of the box at its best. The fact that you were able to see an opportunity where no one had, that right there, man. That speaks for itself.
Yeah, but the original owners had to.
They got it down. It was 2 buns.
So you think it was their lack of risk taking because that's
No,
the
I
way they
mean,
were
I feel
portrayed
like,
in
well,
the movie was
I feel like
they were very conservative.
I feel like they had it. They had a good burger, right? They didn't have the best.
wasn't it the process though.
They had a good burger, and when this guy came in, he found out, oh, people are willing to. Well, they're waiting in line for a burger.
But the whole point was they weren't waiting. They weren't waiting in line that long. That's why people would go there.
Yeah.
Because it was the
process.
efficiency,
Yes.
the process.
Yes.
So that's where this guy saw the advantage was
He saw the process was fast, so
That's
it became fast
it
food.
was efficiency.
But then
yeah.
they put it in a bag, which now you don't even have to eat it at the restaurant. You can take it. That was the takeout. That was the new. And then he came in and looked at the process already being fast. He then went and hired engineers to figure out what would be the most efficient way and fastest way we can get this done.
It's a team.
And they built the team. They built the system that's still strong today.
And you know, one of the things that I've learned in this whole journey, you know, in life and everything, is like, it's a team. Can't do it alone. Like,
well, that's the thing about mammals or just life. Like how many animals do you know that work on them on their own? Jaguar, you know, tigers, lions. It's a pack or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
Wolves,
But
even chickens.
But you're
like,
talking about different jungle, man. I'm talking about us.
But humans, I mean, we're animals in the sphere of the earth.
We work better in teams, don't you think?
Well, because we were built that way. Because we have evolved to protect each other. The way we used to fend off predators was by being in numbers, protecting each other, and from there became innovation. You know, with fire. And then, you know, we built cities. And then, first they were towns and they became cities. Now, we literally live in a bubble. We don't have to step out of Orange County to survive. You literally do not have to step out of your city to survive.
Right now.
Well, right now. I mean, right now, you know, you live in, you know, where you live. And next door, there's everything. There's a mall. There's a movie theater. Entertainment. Convenience is huge. You have the freeway. Here's the same thing. Any city you go in Orange County, you have the exact same thing.
If they shut off the Colorado River, someone blows up the dam, and then everybody in Southern California is fucked. And then yes, you are leaving your city to survive.
Yeah,
because of one river. You know the one
Irvine. Well, I mean, they have their entertainment, their shopping plazas, but they don't really have a lot of nightlife. That's the only one that I don't know if I could. Well, I mean, once the family comes, maybe, but I'm more of like the city guy. I like to be in the busy.
But you're in Irvine. You're only a few minutes away.
Yeah, dude. But right now we can walk. And we can be at a superstore. At a wholesale superstore.
You could do that in Irvine too. You could be next to a wholesale superstore, a Costco. Distance. Okay, before we get into how boring Irvine is, let me finish on In-N-Out because I found all the details about it. So, In-N-Out, although they do pride themselves in their marketing scheme as like locally sourced food, which is what I was saying, why I feel like, when I eat In-N-Out, it's fine. It's because they're fresh. Apparently, In-N-Out has a company policy where the distribution center, the company maintains that it's got to be in within a 500-mile radius of the store opening up. Mm-hmm. Although there was a thing here that the new In-N-Outs in Utah are 700 miles, so they had to go against their policy, which is a lesson to learn here. You create a policy, it could change anytime. But that's one of their policies is 500. Why? What happens is it helps keep the stores fresh. It reduces the cost, so you don't get any spoiled vegetables, which is what a lot of restaurants face. So because they source locally, they can bring the food fresh and quickly, faster. So one of the things is they get their beef from Harris Ranch, and it's apparently a thing that nobody likes. It's a 10,000 square foot place of, cattle. The run of the mill. Have you guys seen the videos? Have you guys ever seen?
I saw some, and I wanted to get into that rabbit hole, but I couldn't, man.
That's a rabbit hole right there, and that's one we should get into. So that's one of their meat facilities here. One of their basically here in California. So they they source it from Harris Ranch, I believe it's called. Yeah, and that's where they get their meat from, and they ain't grass fed. Okay, they're not claiming their In-N-Out's not claiming grass fed or anything. They're just claiming locally sourced fresh food,
which is that's a great marketing term.
I'll take it over extremely processed food coming from.
When you listen to that, it says, "Oh, locally fresh,"
That's
or
why,
locally sourced. That almost sounds like organic.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's like,
what are you talking about?
It's still not fresh,
right?
Because it's like In-N-Out is they're supplying demand for a locally grown person that's not putting any pesticides putting anything. It's like, come on, it's gonna be overwhelming. Because you could only grow so much.
Would you pay $10 for that burger?
But they're not paying $10.
But would you pay $10 for that burger so that it could be
organically
organic?
Grown, which sometimes people do. There are places that only do organic restaurants. Yes.
But this is a fast food chain, right?
And this is a $3 burger.
Exactly. So it's not.
Really it's a $4 burger now, but
it's $4.
Yeah. But it's still cheap.
So
right? And it's fast and it's cheap.
I love that place, dude. It's so good.
Dude, we all love McDonald's.
Right now. And it's open right now. It's open.
Hey,
guys.
Hey, are you guys down to experiment this?
It's just a little bit. We don't have to get a lot. Maybe no soda, no fries, just a burger.
Why are you going?
For research purposes, because we've been doing this.
It does.
You have to have the whole experience.
See, they got us. They got us.
No, man, this is good. This is good.
It's crazy. It's just life itself is an experience.
This is how I balance my unhealthy eating habits. Is I go to In-N-Out because it's like locally sourced. It's still a little bad for me.
And you're just gonna walk it off.
Lies.
That's how I balance my life out. Go to In-N-Out.
Oh man.
When we could make our own burger.
Right? Well, Mark Wahlberg started his own burger restaurant.
That is expensive.
That's pretty cool.
It's
the grass fed. It's good. Yeah. And it's good too.
I think I might have tried it in Vegas one time. It was good.
The burgers.
Yeah.
Why is it good? What's
just the way that it was made?
It's a good burger. It's just a good burger.
It's not the way it was advertised. It's not the way it was advertised.
No, it was just a good burger.
It's not like wine. It's not like you're gonna give me 2-3 different bottles and I'm gonna tell you what year they are. I'm not gonna tell you like, oh, this cow was really munching on that grass that day. It's not like that. Like it's just a really good burger. They season it well or something. I don't know. They add great condiments to the burger, but it's a good burger.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Is it better than In-N-Out? Is it a better burger?
Well, see, I like In-N-Out because of the consistency. It doesn't matter what In-N-Out I go to. I know it's always going to be good.
I know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Because it's grilled, huh? It's grilled. It's there.
Dude, when I worked at Carl's Jr., I had heard some rumors online that they painted the burger to make it look charbroiled because when you make the burger, it's not like on a grill. Charbroiled. It's
a pan, right?
It's a pan. So they literally used to spray paint the burgers in order to make it look charbroiled.
I haven't had a good experience with Carl's Jr.
Ever? Dude, I mean their burgers were decent.
No.
Yeah. The Western, amazing burger.
Yeah, the Western burger. Oh my god.
Dude, one time I went to Carl's Jr. This was a long time. It was like about 2 years ago. And for some reason, I always open the burger up to put some ketchup or whatever. And their meat, it looked fake. It looked like a piece of plastic. It looked like, and it had like these fucking wards.
It the black
warts?
Yeah, like wards. Like it
warts?
was this. Yeah, wards. Like wards.
I feel like you're saying wards.
What is it? Wards? Like
no,
like
warts. WARTS. No, TS.
Wards.
But warts like the kind you get on your skin.
Yeah, the wards.
Wards. Okay, wards. So it's wards. I knew I was hearing it
right. It's wards.
It's wards.
What did I say?
Words.
Well, you were saying wards.
It's not wards. Whatever it is.
With the T. No, you can. You can pronounce it. It's wards.
But you guys understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
All over the patty. I'm like, that's disgusting. It looks
Did you eat it?
No, I didn't eat it. I never went back.
Well, the first time I shit my pants, it was because of Carl's Jr.
No, when I shit my pants, it's because I eat Subway.
No, you really honestly shit your pants though. I'm not saying shit my pants like
literally?
figuratively. I'm saying it literally.
Like you fucking shit your pants.
Yeah, shit my. The first time I shit my pants was because of Carl's Jr. It was
nasty.
the jalapeno burger, and I got in.
Was it cheese?
No. So what happened to me? I got what was called infectious diarrhea. I had an infection and then like a stomach infection because of the burger. Something I bad. And I remember this burger very clearly. I only ate half of it. That's how bad it was. Something my body knew. It's crazy.
Do you think it was undercooked?
No, I don't know what it was, but my body knew something was wrong with this burger.
Carl's Jr. I'm telling you.
Carl's Jr.
I'm telling you.
I've personally never had a bad experience.
I've gone like 1,000 times.
Have you looked at your patties?
Yeah. I mean,
you don't look at every patty.
I do, man. I opened because I like ketchup.
Well,
I opened that thing up and
I don't.
And I saw that and I'm like, dude, what is this? This is
I know, but I know what you're talking about. I have seen it. I have seen it, and I don't. I mean, I don't eat it regularly.
I guess it's me.
No, I saw it. I just don't. You know, I don't actually eat a lot of burgers. Actually, every once in a while. I mean, we go to In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
If you're gonna get a burger, I go to In-N-Out.
And your In-N-Out is right down the street.
Right down the street.
It's right down the street.
So it's like convenient for me. You know,
it's like 10 minutes away. Less. We get into my car. It's like 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
We wait in the line. It's like 20 minutes.
It's 3 minutes, dude.
In your car. 3 minutes.
It's not even 3 minutes. It's like 2 minutes to get to the line.
That's true.
Dude, they have that process fucking on point. I've seen them when you're ordering and they're... Dude, there's people on stations just fucking going like robots. It's crazy. Cool with the fucking with the
potato slicer. Just like
their back end work function. It's an insane. They have procedures.
Mm-hmm.
We actually started one because of. We don't really use it, although we should get better, and I should be the first to start doing it since. Mm-hmm. I'm your prep specialist. One of the rules that they have is when a supervisor or a manager or someone is telling you to do something, you have to respond with right on. So if your supervisor tells you, hey, Gilbert, I need you to cut the tomatoes.
Right on.
And then I'm going to wait for you to say that. They wait for you to say that. They're like waiting until you say it.
What does Pure One have? What is it?
Got it. Pure One's got it.
That's what we do.
So when he tells me got it, like, and I actually fail at it, but it's his job to kind of remind, like, got it.
We ain't got to talk about those failures, Robert.
It's like, because you're supposed to remind, like, got it? Like, because you need to confirm, because he could just be like, well, he didn't say anything, but hey, got it? I need to say got it. I need to get into the habit of it too. It needs to happen. Because there are times that happens.
It's a process. It's a process and it's procedures. I'm reading this book, and it's about that. It's about understanding and repeating what the company's about to your employees, to your crew, to your team members, so they understand and they go into that mentality of like, this is who we are. And I think In-N-Out has it so down with their training
right away
because it's a process. You see these people, they are trained to cut the potatoes because they're receiving training, because they see it. So what we're doing is we're replicating all of these things because obviously it's worked in its policies and procedures, and just
you're just reiterating the process over and over. The path
is already paved.
Yeah.
Because you see,
you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just do what the instructions say.
Yes.
Yeah, just
follow the procedures.
Yeah. By the way, Greg says that he finished the 10 miles.
Nice. Good job, Greg. Way to go.
Yeah, good job, Greg.
You motivated us to go to In-N-Out.
Great job.
I know, man. I know, because we were all talking about being healthy and shit and having a freaking cocktail.
That's what I'm talking about.
Balance.
It's balance. I can't say more other than it's self-care. I think that's it. If we're trying to balance ourselves, let's just get a little bit of self-care. Let's remember ourselves. And that's it.
Stretch. That's all.
But there's all little things we could do, but just think about yourself. Give yourself some self-care. Give yourself some time. to
Yeah,
get back
I don't
into
know.
it.
I just think it's really important. I think it was the theme of this week for me because after everything, the one thing that's helped me the most right now has been just having that little routine of just, I guess it's, I mean, because back before going to get that facial, I mean, I still wash my face twice a day, but it wasn't with the same movements. It wasn't in this with the same product. It wasn't in the same way. Maybe I didn't pay that much good attention to it. But now, having that routine, it's like, okay, I kind of have that down. Okay, now let me
Yeah.
add something else. And what is that something else? Well, let me start changing my diet. Okay, and then so once I have the diet, I and because of financial restriction right now, then the gym will come into play, and then by then, hopefully everything is like set in stone, and that's just my daily routine.
Let me tell you though, nothing's gonna hit as fast as doing 100 jumping jacks, and you don't need money for that. Nothing's gonna hit the dopamine receptors as fast as doing 100 jumping jacks.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I'm telling you, like if you wait, I'm telling you this only because I just got out of it and working out really helped me. It's nothing's gonna be faster than that.
And you know what, dude?
Food
it's
helps.
it's really it's funny that you say that because maybe I didn't catch myself, but maybe that's my procrastination, my my procrastination mentality that I have is like, oh well, because I like to do things the right way. It's
You
like I
yeah.
don't know why, dude. It's just I
It-
get obsessed that way.
It's your perfectionism with especially with working out and all that, the whole health exercise thing. You have a perfectionism when it comes to that. You want to do
Yeah.
it right, and you know it requires an enormous amount of energy, which is why you ate better first, because you knew you needed that energy.
Right.
Yeah, because God forbid you just fucking do 100 jumping jacks.
Well,
In your mind,
right?
Because you know what you needed. You're like, nah, I need to be at optimal performance before I go and give the beast
because
workout.
I know that you cannot out-train a bad diet. You literally cannot out-train a
good.
bad diet. You
That is
can't be
good.
like, I'm gonna run 100. Well, you can run 100 miles. Your body's gonna be shot to shit, and not just that. Your recovery is gonna be
You're
slow.
right.
Your recovery is gonna be twice as slow as if instead of recovering right, like bouncing right back because you ate the right things. And having that type of mentality for me, it was like, well, I haven't had time to cook right, so it's like I'm gonna go work out, and it's like just wasting time is like. But you see, it's not that. It's the fact is I should just get out there and start, and everything else will fall into place. I know it will.
Start what? What are
Just
you gonna
working
start?
out, just getting back into the mentality that I had before. Getting back to that grind of the physical pain, physical suffering is really
Yeah.
grounded me.
Yeah.
Because when you're working out, when you're in those 13 miles, you're not thinking about, oh, like, oh, dude, that guy honked at me today.
Yeah.
Oh, like road rage.
Yeah.
No, you're not thinking about it. You're thinking about the next step and the next step only.
Oh man. Well, I mean,
That's so true, Marco.
real quick, when I was running the 13 miles, I'm at Peters Canyon, and I finally get to Peters Canyon. This lady, she knows I'm looking at her, and she's looking around. And she's got a plastic bottle in her hand, and she goes, and she just tosses it to the side. And I'm just running, and I'm in my zone, but I see what's happening. And she looks at me, and she just throws it, and I'm like, man.
Did you pick it up?
I picked it up.
You picked it up in front of her?
I picked it up in front of her. I told her, I was like,
You told her?
yeah, I was like, there's a trash can right behind you. Stop littering. And this is what she's like, I don't care. And she took off.
She was in a car?
No, she was running. She was walking. She had a bottle.
Damn, that's
She was and she just threw it. And I
That's-
looked at her, and I'm like, I'm in my zone. And at the same time, I'm like, damn. Like,
I know.
what the fuck is happening right now? She just threw that thing.
I saw that. I was pulling out of a parking lot, and I was driving my boss's expensive car, and I'm pulling out, and this guy opens the window, and he throws out trash. And as I'm passing by with this, he can't help but look at me, right? I go like this.
Nice.
I gave him the thumbs down, and he kind of sat there, and I left. And I always wonder, I'm like, I wonder if that guy picked it up. If he didn't, at least somebody's, said something to him.
When I had to make a choice. I'm like, if I'm gonna tell her something and she doesn't pick it up, I have to pick it up. There is no way I can. I just told her to not litter and me not pick it up. So I went and I picked it up, and I'm like, man, people, they just don't understand that this is where they run. She's gonna come back to this place, and she's not gonna like to see trash.
Maybe she doesn't do it often. Maybe her self-care.
No, wait. She told you I don't care.
She told me I don't care.
But like, what did you feel when she said it? Did you feel like she said it because she got caught, or did you feel like she genuinely just was like, no, I don't care?
Yeah, she didn't care. Like, she genuinely didn't care. It wasn't like she looked around, and her best option
So she did care.
was to throw it out.
She didn't. What she didn't care was
No. The thing is,
she didn't care about you.
No, she went past the trash can. She saw the trash can. She went too far, and she didn't want to go back and throw it in the trash can. So her best option was to throw it on the ground. And when I told her,
shitty.
And when I told her, I was like, you could pick that up, and the trash can is right behind you. She looked at me and she's like, I don't care. And all I told her, I was like, you need to stop littering. And I picked it up and I threw it in the trash. I was like, this is crazy. This is just like, they don't understand that this is our community. We run these trails. She's going to go back.
And maybe she does understand. Maybe she just literally does not care. And that's sad. That's sad.
That's just crazy.
It's frustrating.
That's crazy.
Dude.
It's crazy.
And back in the days, you saw that, you'd gather a mob and just kick them out of town.
You know how much the littering fine is? It's $1,000. You get caught.
Yeah, but when do you get caught? How many people get caught?
But it's too rare. It's because there's not gonna be a policeman.
Yeah.
I mean, if he catches you watching you, he'd be like, "Ooh, that's a ticket right there. That's $1,000."
But when somebody, when you know somebody's watching you, and you still throw it, it's like, what the hell?
The level of balls she has. Did she have like a wheelbarrow?
Maybe she was like in her 15th mile, and she was just like, I'm tired of holding this bottle. I don't care.
I was in my 13th mile, and I looked like I was in my 13th mile. She looked fresh.
Maybe she was trying to get your attention.
Dropped off and just walked.
Yeah, that's how she gets his attention, by throwing a water bottle, by littering. Like, that's how I'm gonna get this guy's attention.
Oh, she did. Litter. She got your attention.
But she didn't care.
That's the point. It's like, if we let those people, if I wouldn't have said something, she would.
Yeah, you just have to do your own. We have to do our own.
And I'm sure she's gonna remember that. She's gonna see. Well, at least people are watching. At least we're saying something.
That's possible. Maybe not.
And I picked it up. I'm like, man, that is crazy. But you know what? At least I know the whole COVID thing. I was just like, but whatever. If I catch it this way, at least I did something good, But I was like, man, people.
Yeah.
Different people.
People,
different
man.
People, different people, man. We're different people. Different worlds,
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys want to call it an episode?
Yeah, that's a good.
Let me, my haiku.
Oh, we got a haiku coming?
Yeah, well, before we end the episode, today's episode is brought to you by Pure One Window Cleaning in Orange County,
Newport Beach. We're there.
Where can people find you, Gilbert?
Dude, they can find us on pureonetoday.com. No, is it? Yeah, is it?
Oh yeah, all right. So
I was like, come on, man.
it out.
You're the,
you could do your job.
Is it pureonetoday.com?
Yeah, you don't know your website? Yeah. It's pureonetoday.com.
I
Pure
know.
One Window Cleaning in Orange County. Also check out at The Realist Reader on Instagram for all your books. Self-help
Awesome.
books.
Don't forget to follow this podcast on every platform. We're on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Don't forget to comment if you liked our content so far. If you have any ideas or topics you guys want us to discuss, just leave a comment, leave a like, hit the subscription button, and the notification bell to be notified next time we go live. And to end today's podcast, we have a little excerpt from Heart of a Buddha that goes like this. And actually, this kind of ties in everything together. So it's kind of funny that this is the way it works out. When sitting quietly, reflect upon our own faults. When speaking with friends, do not discuss the rights and wrongs of others.
Nice.
And with that,
Nice.
with that, we'll leave you guys to it. Greg and I will see you guys next week, or actually tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow we have a podcast going.
There you go.
So,
hey, don't miss it and subscribe.
All right. Thank you guys for joining me.
Hey, thank you for having us, man.
It's a pleasure to have you guys. See you guys next time.